Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man episodes 6, 7, and 8 have dropped on Disney Plus. I want to give you my thoughts on the show. First of all, I want to comment that I am actually glad I stuck with the show because it is improving. It really is improving, and I'm seeing a lot of people throw more positivity its way. I know that some folks were a bit off-put with the type of animation it is, you know, kind of retro-ish, but a mix of like what Spider-Verse did with cell shading. And I know that can be a bit off-putting initially. I saw some comments about that, but I've also seen those who stuck with it really kind of appreciate the show. The 3 episodes that I want to discuss are Duel with the Devil, Scorpion Rising, and Tangled Web. I like how they've come up with a really creative way of bringing in some of the Spider-Man rogues gallery without just going through the same old method. Like some of the old Spider-Man shows would introduce like a different villain every week or every couple weeks, and it became very episodic. With this show, you have the situation going on with Doc Ock, right? He's in the picture. You've got the Scorpions. You've got the Scorpion. You know, you've also got Norman Osborn. You know, episode 6, Duel with the Devil, is the first appearance in this show of Daredevil, voiced by Charlie Cox. That's right, Matt Murdock from the Netflix series and the new Daredevil Born Again. Charlie Cox plays the Man Without Fear in this episode. And it, again, you know, I've been talking in the last few weeks about how it's kind of a hybrid canon, how it feels like it is the MCU, but like an offshoot of it, not a completely different Elseworld story. The events of the Avengers and the Avengers Age of Ultron have clearly already happened, but so have the events of Daredevil. At least based on what I saw here, the events and the origin that was portrayed in the Netflix Daredevil show follows this variant of Matt Murdock as well. This is where Daredevil actually tells Peter that Norman Osborn might not be who he thinks he is. And Norman seems to have this obsession with targeting Doc Ock. Obviously, in this universe, Daredevil's older and more experienced, so he does get the upper hand on Spider-Man in their fight, and I think it makes sense. And then Norman tells Peter that he thinks that Otto Octavius is the one that hired Daredevil. And it's like, wait a minute, now we know that's not true. So they're definitely playing this game where both these guys have sinister motives, or at least it seems that way, right? But one of them, like they both have sinister motives, but Peter doesn't know which one of them to trust, when in reality both are bad, right? Like that's, and I'm talking about Norman and Octavius, not Daredevil. We know he's good. And then we have what happened with Harry Osborne, who, like I said, I haven't been a big fan of. He actually tells Nico the truth about Peter Parker, and that causes a problem between Nico and him. And they kind of start doing this. I don't know if it's going to be a love interest or what, but it seems like Nico might get caught in a love triangle like what they did with Mary Jane in the old Raimi Spider-Man movies between Harry and Peter. But in reality, she likes Peter, but Peter's more into Pearl. And that's a different story. I really like the fight with Spider-Man and the Scorpion in the Scorpion Rising episode. I enjoyed watching that. I actually found out today, yes, today I found out that the music in this show is being produced by Leo and Zach, the same 2 guys that did the music for Cobra Kai. And I'll be back, by the way, later on tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on where you live, with the Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3 non-spoiler review. So keep an eye out for that on the channel for those of you who are Cobra Kai fans. I'm staying up to watch it. I got a big party over here, and we're going to be watching it and having a great time, and I'll be doing my non-spoiler review. But anyways, so I enjoyed the Scorpion fight, and then the story I think got really, I think, much more interesting in Tangled Web, because now that title of that video, or I'm sorry, of that episode is very fitting. Because this is where like the whole Pearl storyline, you know, is starting to like come together. Like this is where Lonnie and the Pearl thing, hit their climax, if you want to call it that. It was also interesting seeing Iron Man make a cameo here because, and it sounded like it's not Robert Downey. It's not Robert Downey, but it sounded like Robert Downey. So the guy did a great impression. And so the big, I guess what ends up happening, for lack of a better term, is Harry creates a new spider suit for Spider-Man, like with new technology. And that's kind of where we're heading into the final 2 episodes, which are going to be dropping next week on the 19th. Hero or Menace, and If This Be My Destiny are the last 2 episodes. So I don't want to go too much into every single detail of the plot with this show, but it is enjoyable. I like sort of the hip-hop vibe to it. For the most part, it's sort of like a mix of like the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby era Spider-Man mixed with like sort of like a modern twist, like if Ryan Coogler were to do it. So those are my thoughts. So far, the show is getting better, I think. I'm really curious about where Octavius goes, if Norman Osborn actually does cross the line into villainy. These are all questions I have as we leave with the last 2 episodes coming. So what do you think about the show? Is it getting better for you? Do you not care? Have you tried it out yet? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in a few hours after Cobra Kai when we wrap that up. And of course, I'm going to do a non-spoiler review on Captain America Brave New World and a spoiler review on The Weekend. So that'll give everybody a chance to go see the movie. Same thing goes for Cobra Kai. I'll have my spoiler Cobra Kai video this weekend as well. Take care. See you soon.